here.
What up? What up, world? What up, gang?
We're going to jump into it because
we back. We back, baby.
You know what's the beauty, like what I love the most about this show?
What's that, son?
Sometimes we can just talk about shit right as we're about to come on.
Yo, seriously, son. When I tell you, we always get excited to be here. We every that's why I'm glad you even brought it up. Like, because like you just said, this our show. So it's like, you know, the best thing about it, it's ours. So we can talk about or do what we want to. I mean,
it's kind of helping you with improv.
Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah,
you feel me? You here.
That's
I do got to promote that though, because we getting close to the time when we gonna be on. So I feel like you was about to ask me how I'm doing. Before I rudely like talked over you.
Are you sure? But you got any more left? I don't want to just ask you how you doing if you was talking about more stuff.
Oh no, bro. There's always something. Okay, I'm feeling good. Like overall, I'm doing well. September. This month is going to be real busy for your boy. Those have been following since probably season 1. I talked about it a lot. I'm an actor, trying to get on Broadway, on film, you know what I'm saying? So one step at a time. I actually got a show coming up in October, the first weekend in October, the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And the last weekend in October, spooky Halloween time.
Ooh, where we at?
It's called He'll Work It Out. And if you want to, Heal.
Okay.
H-E. Apostrophe LL.
Is it a religious?
He's there.
Okay.
They go to church every now and again. This one is more like what's the movie where they eat Sunday dinner and Big Mama lose her leg because she ate too much and had diabetes?
Food?
Yeah, it's like soul food times 2. Like there's 2 characters that I play in this play actually. One of them stretches my my abilities as an actor. It's actually a really good role that I've wanted to play, so I'm glad I'm gonna have people there recording for me and stuff like that, because getting my reel together. Another character, the downsides, I ain't gonna hold y'all, the downsides of being an actor, sometimes you get a role that you really don't care for. Nah, I shouldn't say it like that. It's like, there's a role that you feel there's more you could do with it, but there's not much you can do with it other than what you're given.
Okay.
So like one character, there's a lot of things that happen with this one character, and another character is more like not a cameo character, but he doesn't have a lot going on. So it's like little bits here and there.
Okay.
So it's like the best of both worlds. I get a chance to really stretch as an actor, and then I also get
say that because the beauty of it is, and if it being that it's something that you don't really want to do, you're not interested in, it still helps you grow and go through that process of like, all right, I don't want to be this guy, but I'm going to do the best I could possibly can.
And let me make sure I make it clear. Like, I'm not sitting up here saying like, oh, this is some bull. Like, that's not what it is. It's just
like to kick you out
know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't about to do that. We ain't about to have that happen. But yeah, it's just a role that's like, okay, I could do more with it, but there's, it is what it is. But then there's one role that it's like, I'm like, yo, I can't wait to perform this other one. The other one is like, it's more like just being me, and I don't have to act when I'm being me. Like, I just be myself. That character's pretty easy. So I guess I should say it more like the ease of the second character, not necessarily the level of interest, because I'm definitely interested in what I'm doing.
If the scholars wanted to come see this play, where can we come watch it?
Yo, y'all gonna have to follow the IG page for that. Because the venue, I don't have the address right now. I mean, I could look it up as we go throughout the episode. As a matter of fact, scholars, that's what I'm gonna do.
Y'all gonna have to come and watch either follow the page, see the page, or go to YouTube.
Because you know what we'll do? It'll be on the Educated Brothers Podcast IG page. So if you want to find out more about it, tickets and everything like that, find the IG page, find our YouTube page. I'll have more information for it there.
We're gonna link all that up there.
You know what I'm saying? Or you can follow me individually, ITSDANTEB. It's Dante B. And also at Bigger Sean, because he's going to promote me too, whether he like it or not.
Are you forcing me to do
yeah, absolutely. And the best part about this is actually something that has never happened before. I've got a billboard, like the whole production has a billboard out in Times Square.
What?
I'm dead ass. So if y'all in the New York area, on 42nd Street by the Red Stairs, they got a big ass billboard. It's there all day.
Are you in it?
I don't know if I'm in it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to work tomorrow. I'm going to be in the city.
Pictures for it?
Yeah, we took pictures for it. We did interviews and all that stuff.
Did you hold the Educated Brothers sign with you?
I couldn't do that. I couldn't. I was on a different production at that time. So.
No, I swear to God, that's just down. I'm just take a random trip to New York.
42nd Street, like I said, by the Red Stairs.
That's
you know
fire.
how they got all the billboards moving on the big Titantron screen for the month of September, running 24 hours a day. On the hour, every hour.
It's on a digital screen.
It's on a digital screen.
So it'll come and go.
But it's on the screens 24/7, on the hour, every hour.
Do you know exactly what time it comes?
I feel like the time slot is like 9 to 10, but I can confirm
So if it's,
and I could even put it on my story so y'all can follow that there.
If it's 9 to 10, how often does it come and go?
It's like a 1 second, like not a 1 second block, but it's got its own block. So within the hour, there could be 30 billboards going up. It's going to be one of those. And I think it's on the screen for like a good 10, 15 seconds.
So there's a possibility it'll come on probably like 3 or 4 times in the hour.
In the hour, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, possible.
I got to go out there.
Possible. I'm going to find out more about the venue. I'll tell y'all more about it before we actually end the episode today, because I do want to promote.
I'm going to be at that line like, I'm his manager. You see that? I did that.
Yo, and this one is off Broadway too, but this is the most on Broadway, off Broadway production I've done. Because like this level of publicity, like I've done interviews for this one. They've done promo for this one. I got like actual, like I got promo tickets and stuff. Again, hit me up if you want to know more about that. If you're trying to see the show for a little bit of a cheap, I'll give you the family rate, and I'm not even trying to flex. Like, hit me up.
I'm coming.
But nah, it's definitely a play that I feel like a lot of people who are going through stuff and might be misunderstood. There's a character in this play that I know you'll resonate with, whether it be like a main character, a cameo character. There's somebody in here that you could say like, damn, like I be feeling like that sometimes, or my family goes through this. So I definitely advise y'all check it out. Not just because I'm in it. It's definitely a good production. Shout out to TCAT Productions, the director Taryn, the co-producer Carl, Carlton, excuse me. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
All y'all.
We gonna be out here. We gonna be out here. And the
right.
first run, like I said, first week of October, second run at the end of October, but check it out. We might have a third run probably at the top of the 2024 New Year. So check that out, son. Check that out.
Listen, I'm happy as hell for you. Clap it up for Dante. That's dope. That's fire right there.
I'm trying to do big things, son. I'm trying to get my mama out the hood. You made it.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. I'm doing well.
I'm doing well. Come out and support.
Appreciate that, brother.
I'm gonna take a big ass picture in front of the billboard. Look out, Marlon say cheese. Definitely gonna be out there. Make sure I get to that show. Make sure y'all get to that show as well. But
yeah, how you feeling though, Sean? I don't want to,
No, you fine. September. You know, September's gonna be one of those months. Like you said. It's already busy as hell. I'm moving next week.
Shout out to that.
Moving on up. Moving into a deluxe apartment.
In the sky.
Shit expensive as fuck. Yeah, so I'm moving on Saturday. Appreciate it. I'm moving on Saturday.
Okay.
Work's about to be a nightmare, dog. With school starting back up, we have a lot of contracts with schools.
Okay.
And we had a lot of contracts last year that didn't get like re-signed, and the reasoning why they didn't get signed because it didn't make any sense because we weren't servicing them.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people that work in the higher ranks of my company. It's like, oh, let's just have them just cause. I'm like, why? They don't come to us.
Yeah.
So then they're just sitting there wasting space
for no reason.
So I still did my due diligence in reaching out like, hey, these are our rates. You know, we can service you guys. No response. So my thing is, I'm not going to like keep bothering you. Now, in our field, they want you to keep bothering them. I'm like, no, because then there's people who really need our help who signed the contract.
Yeah.
If you're going to be on that, oh, well, I don't know if we need it, blah, 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 do your thing. Because, and just to, give you a little bit more insight, most school districts don't sign nursing contracts in the school year.
And why is that?
Because most of them have to be approved by the board. And the Board of Education usually have their meetings right when they all return from summer break for the workers, which is usually second or third week of August.
Okay.
So if they don't get that contract signed in that meeting, it usually doesn't get signed unless there's a special occasion. So that's why I tried to tell my company, I'm like, well, it's just going to have to be on a special occasion. They never reach back out. I have too much on my plate to bother these guys if they're not going to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I did what I was supposed to do. They didn't answer. But then, you know how it goes. They're not going to hear that. So I'm end up having to drive to these places.
Of course.
I'll give you guys some insight on how crazy my job can get. Wednesday, I'm lying. Last Wednesday, I live in Edison. I had to drive to Philadelphia. Philadelphia to Camden. Camden to South Brunswick. South Brunswick to Edison. Edison to Parsippany. Parsippany back to Edison. And this all happened within an 8-hour workday.
Damn. Damn.
So
damn, son.
That's not like right around the corner and coming back.
It's not.
Nah.
And that's normal.
Yeah, that's a normal day.
When I started my job, I've been in my job for a year and 4 months now.
Okay.
When I started that job, I had 55,000 miles on my car. Mm-hmm. You want to guess how many I got now?
If you do that every day, bro, I'm comfortable saying like you started at 55. Right now, I say how long you been there doing this? 6 months?
Year and 3 months.
Year and 3 months?
Well,
yeah, you get close.
The driving aspect ramped up when I got promoted, and I got the promotion back in February.
Okay. All right, I say you close to 90,000.
Over. I'm at 105,000 miles.
But see, I would also ask, is that also because you drive other places? Like, is that solely where you...
I promise you,
okay,
most of it's because of work.
Okay.
Because, like, even when coming here or going to see you guys, it doesn't happen as often. So it's not going to kill the mileage. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, if I'm going places, Pooh's with me, so she'll drive, and then, we're going back and forth. So it's not constantly either one of our cars.
Yeah.
But... it's mostly work. So
that's crazy,
and that's
bro.
going to ramp up in September because I'm going to have to go to all these schools and basically like, hi, my name's LaShawn.
Are you going to like high schools or
all of the above?
Just like schools.
All of the above. Remember, like my title is the whole state.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be everywhere.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but it comes with it.
Yeah, it comes with the territory.
Pays the cost to be the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like I said, September's going to be crazy. On top of me moving next week, the following week, I'm taking my brother to Texas to see the Jets versus Cowboys.
I was about to say, let him know why you going.
Of course, my brother. I thought it'd be dope. All my brothers we're all fans of different teams. Mm-hmm. So I've already took one of my brothers to a Kansas City Chiefs game.
Okay.
So my oldest brother is a Cowboys fan. The Cowboys play the Jets week 2. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take him to Dallas to see that game.
Yeah.
The other brother,
isn't that cute?
It's cute, right? It's cute, right?
Cute.
The other
my brother and me.
My other brother's a Packers fan, so he's gonna have to wait a couple years on that.
Yikes! Flying all the way to Wisconsin, I don't know about all that.
I mean, it's not crazy, but it's a little bit further than flying to Texas. I think flying to Wisconsin is like 4 hours.
Flying to Texas?
No, flying to Wisconsin.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's my part. That's
4 hours.
My neck of the woods. I ain't been there. I've never been.
It's just up top.
I mean, yeah.
It probably not even 4 hours because it's about for flight wise. I looked it up. Flight wise, if you flew from Wisconsin from Detroit, it's about an hour.
Okay.
Here to Detroit is about an hour.
Yeah, so it's not that bad.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's probably
if you're going out there for the Packers versus the Jets, it's probably about the only thing. Because I personally,
you sit in Green Bay.
Well, I was about to say, what the hell?
You go to
is over
Milwaukee.
there? I mean, Milwaukee, but even they're still not a big market city, but they're big enough.
See, do you follow Dame Dash on Instagram?
No, unfortunately, I don't.
He was in Milwaukee this weekend.
Okay,
and he really wrote as a caption, "Yo, I'm fucked up of all these years of me in this business." And every time they would have like Milwaukee on the fucking the tour, he wouldn't go because he's like, "What the fuck is in Milwaukee?" So he finally went this weekend. He was like, "Yo, Milwaukee's actually popping."
Okay.
So, and then when I was in Houston last year, it was a bunch of motherfuckers from Milwaukee out there. Like they like to travel to Houston a lot.
Wonder why that is.
I don't know, but Houston's like that. Like a lot of people from Toronto love going to Houston.
Oh yeah, I know about
one of those
that.
cities that everyone likes to go to.
Okay.
So,
that
in
makes
meeting
sense.
a few dudes from Milwaukee out there, they're like, "Yo, yeah, you got to come. Milwaukee's fire." Like, so seeing Dame Dash post that, I'm like, Wisconsin might be it a little bit, but yeah. So, but that's further down the line. So I'm taking my brother to Texas,
Okay.
and then I'm actually going to the Jets game, the opening Monday night game next week.
And football season is back.
Football season is back, baby.
Season is back.
So,
I'm excited, brother.
And then
got my DraftKings already queued up. Already.
And then my bowling league starts on Sunday. This Sunday coming up. Sheesh. My flag football league starts on this Sunday coming up. When I tell you, and I move on Saturday. This weekend is about to be
So you about
bananas.
to literally be working 7 days a week.
Seriously.
You're going to work Monday to Friday, and then you put in your after time hours.
I dead ass might take I can't take next Monday off because it's payroll. But I might take next Tuesday off, and then the following Monday I have to take it off because I'm going to be in Texas.
Yeah.
So these next 2 weeks about to be nuts.
Basically, that drop was perfect. Basically, so I'm nothing but peace and blessings is sent your way, bro. Because September sounds very eventful,
and we've been
very eventful.
Like everybody, it's currently Labor Day weekend. Today's Labor Day. Literally, I've been packing all weekend. We did absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. I didn't go anywhere. I think the most we did was go get some food. But we didn't even eat at the place. We went to pick the food up, went back home. I've been packing all weekend.
One of my least favorite things to do is packing to move to another place.
And it's ass because it's even worse for me because this is the 4th time I've moved in the last 4.5 years.
Interesting.
You know why I had to move the second time. The first time was moving into that situation. The second move was moving out of that situation.
And that one was wild.
Yeah. So the third time I'd move was moving away from home again to New Brunswick.
I remember that one.
Then from New Brunswick to Ledgewood, then Ledgewood back to Edison, and to Edison to where I'm going now. So.
Goodness gracious! Yeah, don't tell everybody what town you about to be in now, because we don't need nobody following you to go where you at or none of that stuff. So he's moving to South Philadelphia.
Born and raised. Nah, listen, it's a lot, but I feel like God's not gonna put you to do anything He feels like, as if you can't handle. Even through all of what I'm going through, I would not fix my lips to say I'm stressed out, because I'm not. I've been speaking on this pretty much since I came back from my first international trip. I don't let things get to me anymore, man. It's going to be what it's going to be. You just got to get through it.
Bro, that's something I'll be having to work on, yo. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, because even with you saying it, like, I'm nodding my head in agreement with you, but yo, bro, I be having my days where it's like...
We all do, man. And like, don't get it twisted. Even with me having that mindset, there are days when I sit there and be like, yo, this is a lot.
Yeah,
like,
but you know what it is, though? You also got to find ways to be appreciative. Yeah. Like, that's what I got to start. Like, because I read something a couple weeks back that it was like the best way to get into that headspace of, like, you know, progressing or whatever it is, you've got to find little things to keep your mind on what's going right. Because for whatever reason, it's very easy for humans to just say, let me look at everything going wrong.
That's how, but that's
you know
how
what I'm saying?
It's the same thing. Like, that's why social media is the way it is.
Yeah.
I've said that on previous episodes. That is the reason why you can be getting 1,000 compliments, but you'll respond to that one person saying you ain't shit. It's natural for people to do that.
It is.
But going back to why, like, even with everything that's going on, why I just choose not to be like that, because I have to remember, above all this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
When I was in the position I was in a few years ago, I was sitting there like, yo, give it to me.
Yeah.
I need this. Because I know what comes with it. I wanted
one thing
this.
God going to do, He going to listen.
He listen.
You go ahead and ask Him for what you want.
Yeah.
They tell you be very specific in what you ask for, because you just might mess around and get it.
And that's why, even with the stress that comes with it, I don't complain about it, because I wanted it. I got it. It benefits the hell out of me. Now I, just being real, be speaking on it, what I have to do now is find a healthy balance of all of it.
Okay.
Because what's happening now in my life, and you know, I want to be transparent with everybody so people can understand what people go through and whatnot. I'm a big guy. I like to work out. But with the work schedule I have, I don't have that much time to work out as much. It's starting to show. Like, right before we went to the Philippines, from November 6th, because I purposely did it the day after my birthday, if you remember. From November 6th, 2022 till the first week of February, I did the 75 day challenge.
I remember that.
I had lost 35 pounds altogether. Went to the Philippines, still did good as far as, you know, the heat out there.
I was about to say, you probably,
it just kept
that heat kept everything off of you. You was good.
I got back to America within the first 3 weeks of being back from the Philippines. I had gained 15 pounds. So I put half of that weight back on. Where I currently stand right now, weight-wise, I'm 4 pounds heavier than when I started that
the 75 challenge. Yeah.
And I'll keep trying to start the challenge back up, but then something will happen where I literally just either don't have the time, or my body literally would just shut down on me. So now what I have to do is make sure that I start eating better, sleeping more, get more rest, and just mentally making sure that I'm putting everything in the, just basically making sure I'm doing everything that's going to be more beneficial to my health because I'm putting work first a lot. And when you do that, other things start to be pushed to the wayside.
Brother, yes, I
and
know.
My body is starting to tell me like, yo, for everything that you want to do, bro, we don't last forever, bro. You're not about to keep doing this shit. This is my body talking.
Your body like, bro, we ain't 18, 19 no more, bro. Ain't no 2 hours of sleep and keeping it moving type stuff, bro.
Seriously.
Not no more.
And I'm sitting there like, you know what? You're right, body. I got you. So the beauty about where I'm moving now is it gives me the opportunity to actually get up and work out the way I need to because the gym is walking distance. There's a gym. There's going to be a gym where I live at. Mm-hmm. And it's not one of them like bullshit gyms. It's an actual fucking gym. So I can get a full workout in. Even if I choose not to cook my own meals, there's a lot of restaurants that are close to where I could set up meal plans with them to make sure I'm getting the healthy, nutritious diet that I have to do to take in. And if you guys don't know, if you're not aware, if you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to be healthy, if your diet ain't right, none of that shit matters. Yep. You could work out till you're fucking dehydrated, throwing up and all that. If you're not eating right, that shit means nothing. I tell people all the time, the fact that I work out the way that I do is the only reason why I'm not on TLC, my 600-pound life. That's the only reason why I'm not on it. Because I work out hard when I go and work out.
Yo.
But I eat like shit, and I can admit to that. So I need to make sure that I start eating
it's about
better.
accountability.
Yeah.
It's about accountability.
So I always try, like, shout out to Simone. I hired Simone as my nutritionist. But I started being inconsistent with that, fell off, I was missing
I was about to say, what happened with that?
So, man, I brought that up in past episodes.
Oh, yeah, you did.
What happened was, I would pay for the sessions. She would give me basically like homework assignments to complete. I'd do it, but the mistake that I was making was, I wasn't following up with her when she would ask for me to give her insight on how the week went and how, was it hard, was it difficult, what worked, what didn't work.
Yeah,
I stopped doing it. I can blame work, but I had the time to sit aside and be like, hey, what's up, blah blah blah. It just didn't happen. So I fell off the wagon, and then I felt like I didn't want to keep wasting her time and starting it up and going, because that's what was happening.
Yeah, and then consistency became an issue, and you didn't want that to get worse and stuff like that.
So I'm like, I'm not going to do that to her, because even though I am paying for the service, at the same time, like, that takes time away from her day to where she can either be helping somebody else or doing something
coming
that
up with a
benefits her.
schedule or plan for you, and then you're not even using it. I get that.
So
I get that.
Ultimately, that's what made me fall off of it. But the things that she did show me in those few sessions we had helped wonders. Because even at those first 2 weeks where me and her were talking and she was helping me out, well, not helping me out, being my nutritionist, it helped. And I was seeing the results. Not immediately, obviously you got to put the work in, but I was seeing them as those few weeks started to pass. Yeah. But everything just started to play a role. I even had a conversation with my boss the other day, before he went on vacation last month, and told him, like, hey, we got to figure this out because it's becoming way too much. I know that I told you I got it, which I do, but you're expecting more for what I'm already doing. And if I don't do the extraness of what I'm supposed to do, you're complaining about it. That can't fly.
Listen, bro, you know how it is when you have a job. And again, definitely want to get out there, you want to make money, but you got to also remember, and I had to learn this the hard way too, like, yes, you want to make sure that work is good, but you could die today and they gonna be like, yo, we gotta fill that seat.
Exactly.
That's all, because it sucks, but that's the reality.
That's the reality of it. And
and some of these companies will tell you straight up and down to your face, yo, your family, we're gonna take care of you. And granted, they might do some things financially, but like, let me tell you, they'll take care of the president of a company well before they take care of anybody else. And even then, it's like, yo, we need another president of the company.
And that's why the people who work underneath me, my employees, like, I'm not trying to brag or boast, but I'm constantly hearing from them that I'm like the best boss they ever had. And I always tell them it's because I know how it feels to work in a position. I just recently came out of it. Yeah. I'm like, that's the beauty of having somebody like me in there, because I started where you guys are at. I wasn't grandfathered into these positions. Like, my boss's boss literally, her dad owned the company that bought us.
Okay.
So she was literally, as this mosquito keep trying to hit my face, but she literally was just given this position because of family. Mm-hmm. I didn't have that luxury. I had to bust my ass to get to where I'm at. Yeah. You feel me? Even with people doubting me, even with people saying, "Oh, you don't know how to do your shit." Clearly, I do, and I was just happy that somebody finally saw it. But I try to preach that message to my employees and let them know, like, "Hey, I got y'all back 110%. If you need to work from home, just let me know. If you need a little bit of help and you feel like, it's something that you should know, don't feel weird about asking me. We're going to figure this shit out together."
Yep.
I constantly ask them questions, some of which I really genuinely be asking them shit that I don't know, but some of which I just ask them so they can feel more comfortable in not knowing things. Because like I said, don't feel like you have to have that added pressure on you to get everything perfect. I don't need perfection. I just need you to know that you need to come here every day and give me effort. If I see that, that's all I care about.
Yo, but that's the signs of, when it comes to patience and certain. If you got somebody who's looking out for you in the sense of they understand, like, yo, we're both humans. You're going to make a mistake. I'm going to make a mistake. But as long as you say, like, I made this mistake, be truthful about it. Now we can get around it. If you lie about it, how we going to move forward? Because I don't know the truth, so I can't do nothing.
Solve it.
I can't do nothing with a lie. Now, if you tell me the truth of what's going on, but it seems like, again, from what you're telling me, that you give them the respect that you feel you deserve.
Exactly.
It's a two-way street.
But that's how
it's a two-way street.
What makes me work that way really is that I think about all the shitty bosses that I've had in my life, and I tell myself daily, I can't be them.
Yeah.
Now, granted, as a boss, there's just naturally going to be people that just don't like you because of
that's just life.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do about
and
that.
There's really nothing you can do about it.
That's life.
I know for a fact there's a few of my employees who don't like me.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
They probably don't even have a valid reason, but to them it's valid.
But listen,
it is what it is.
Not to be conceited or just speak highly of myself. They don't have a valid reason.
Well, then you got to remember, bro. It's about perspective. And for them, maybe they have a valid reason. To
them, because I know how that feels. Yeah. To them, it's. He thinks he's hot shit because he's the boss and he can just boss me around all day. Well, that's my job to boss you around all day, so I have to fucking do that. So it's like I'm not a micromanager because I hate that shit myself.
That is the worst. I'm glad you don't do that, bro.
But the sad part is some people have to be micromanaged.
Well, then that's a different conversation.
Exactly.
If you micromanage people who need the micromanaging, then that's just good managing. If you micromanage people that don't need it, see, now you're doing too much. But
that's my point, because those people I micromanage are the people who don't like me, but they don't realize I'm only micromanaging them because you don't do your shit right. I have to do it. I literally told one of the ladies the other day at my Times River location.
If you do your job, you ain't got to worry about me talking to you.
I literally said, it wasn't in those words, but I said to her, I'm like, do you realize I never speak to the other one? And she's like, oh, because you have favorites. I'm like, no, because she does everything already. If I ask you guys something, she either have the answer already or it'll be done in about 30 minutes. If I ask you the same thing, I have to wait 3 days for you to give it to me. And then you'll just up and forget about it. But I'm the bad guy for questioning it?
You have to be.
That's crazy.
Because who are listen, do you really think that they're going to take that accountability?
No. And
if you're the mean person for micromanaging, me personally, if I'm ever getting micromanaged, because when I was younger, I'm talking like my other jobs when I was in my 20s, if I got micromanaged, my first thought was, man, why y'all ride me? As I got older, I realized I didn't get micromanaged as I got older, but I realized why. Because then I started taking my job seriously. Then I started doing the work that needed to get done so that I don't get micromanaged. And then I understand, like, oh, some people do it regardless. They enjoy it. But if you get micromanaged, don't get upset about it. First ask, do I need this? Like, am I doing something wrong? Or am I constantly making like little mistakes? Maybe there's a reason why they're over me like a hawk. And then if you get it together, maybe they'll leave you alone. That's just the way I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you're supposed to perceive it, because I remember my first job when that ever happened at me. Not my actual first job, but the first time I felt like I was being micromanaged. I hated it. I was young, so I didn't feel like it was necessary. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, you just being a bitch.
Yeah.
Second job that happened to me, I'm like, all right, am I fucking up? But then I felt like I wasn't. So then I'm like, all right, well, you just being stupid. The third job that happened at me, I'm like, all right, If it happens once, cool, you can shrug it. If it happens twice, now you got to question it.
Yeah.
But if it happens a third time, all right, it's on you.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what you're doing. So then I started diving more into like, all right, I'm asking questions I never asked before. One of the biggest things I used to have as an issue is that I hated asking people I work with for help. I grew up just thinking if you ask people for help, they're going to hold it over you. So I carried myself like that in work life. I'm like, all right, you gotta get that out the way. If you need help, the worst thing you could do is sit up there and act like you don't need help, and some shit fall through the cracks.
And yep.
So I literally, even as I manage right now, technically I manage over 30 employees.
Okay. That's like a football team, right?
You could ask every single one of them. I have no problem asking them for help, and I know it blows their mind that in my position, I'm coming to them like, "Hey, how do you do this?" And they're looking at me like,
I would much rather ask and not know the answer than walk around here and act like I do.
And that's the worst, because I'm going to be real, and I hope the guy don't watch it, but I'm just be honest. My boss is that type of person. He know for a fact he don't be knowing what the fuck he be doing.
Yeah.
But he won't. He's so fucking stubborn. He won't ask for help.
You know what my issue is with that though? Like, it's just because I don't want to be the dumbest one in the room. Yeah. Like, I don't want to not know something, not out of ego, but like out of necessity. Like, I don't want to be having conversations with people and not know what I'm talking about.
But do you hear what you're saying, right?
About what?
Because everything you're saying is coming from the realm of just holding yourself accountable to what the fuck is going on. He won't know something, won't ask for help, do it anyway. It'll get fucked up, and he'll blame it on everybody else. It's like, yo, what?
I'm sorry, like I can't, but it's just me. Like I can't be the one that's a liability.
Yeah.
Like I would much rather ask the question and people be like, "Oh, Dag, you don't know how to do that," as opposed to doing it and they really go, "Oh, Dag, you didn't know how to do that," and now it's worse because I actually did something with it. If I ask you beforehand, I'm just asking a question because I need to know.
What it comes with is, I've said this on previous episodes. If it's one thing that old idiot president of ours taught a lot of people was, you can BS your ways into damn near anything.
Yeah.
But there's good parts of that and there's really bad parts of that. You can BS your way into a position and then handle it like me, as far as like, all right, you know there's a shit that you don't know, so you got to ask about it.
Yeah.
Or you could BS your way into a position like my boss and be like, well, I'm just act like I know this shit, and if it go wrong, I'm blaming everybody else.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm in charge, they gonna get. It's like, oh no, that's what I was about to say. It's like sports, but it's not, because sports are fire a coach before they fire a player any day of the week.
And that's my thing. Business should be like that. I read a quote on not Indeed, LinkedIn of all things. The biggest mistakes companies make is they'll fire 300 good workers before they fire one bad boss.
Yep.
And that should not be the fucking case.
Yep.
Because if you know your boss is bad, the worst thing you could do is be like, oh, well, he's in that position. It's a position of hierarchy. So we have to just find people that work well with him. No. If the majority is against that person, side with the majority.
Yeah.
Because the majority is going to make your business successful.
Yeah.
The majority is going to bring clients in. The majority is going to make sure that money keeps going. That one person is going to fuck up everything.
It's like if you think about a classroom, right? When there's a teacher and they're teaching a class or whatever, a school is not going to look at each student. Let's say the whole class fails. They're not going to look at all those students and go, oh, something must be wrong with all of them. They're going to look at that teacher and go, yo, how have you been teaching them this stuff that they can't retain this information to pass? One or two or three people failing, that's whatever. But if the whole class, bro, that's not all the students. That's got to start at the top in that classroom at least.
I don't know if it's still the same. That's why colleges do that. If 75% of a course of that class fails, they don't actually fail. They just have to take the class over again without being.
That is, I don't know. I don't know the exact thing for it, but that's what at my school was. I know yours was too.
Yeah, they're not going to pass you.
Yeah,
but they're not going to fail you.
But you don't get a failing grade.
Exactly.
It's like an incomplete or something like that. You just got to redo it, or it doesn't count against you. But that only is if everybody.
Well, like I said,
doesn't do
either
very
everybody
well.
Or 75%.
Yeah.
I've actually been in that situation before. I had a chemistry class at William Patterson.
Okay.
The professor was just the biggest asshole. When I mean he was the biggest asshole, if you walked in 20 seconds late, he'd kick you out. This ain't high school. What bothered me with shit like that is like, yo, this is not high school. We all grown here. A lot of us, like Willie P is technically a commuter school.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of us are coming here from West Bubblefuck. And
where the school is in West Bubblefuck.
Yeah. So it's like, bruh, if I walk in this bitch 2-3 minutes late, let it slide.
Especially because that's introduction time anyway. You introducing today's lesson to me.
15 plus. I get it.
You got to eat that.
But if I walk in 2 to 3 minutes, come on, dog.
Yeah.
I think it was like the third week of classes. I walked in about like 2 minutes late because the bus was late. Mm-hmm. You can't depend on New Jersey Transit for shit.
For nothing.
He was like, "Oh well, I don't allow tardiness to my class." I'm like, "I apologize." He's like, "No, you can go." Excuse me?
So you don't allow tardiness. Well,
and for people like me, that shit was worse because my classes was spaced out because I knew I didn't drive, so I had to be out there all day.
Okay.
That class started at 12. My next class wasn't until 5. So he told me to leave out of there at like fucking 12:06. I had nothing to do till 5 p.m.
I'm going to have to just sit there. They're going to have to get campus security. Because, bro, so I get kicked out of class, even though I'm here. But I get kicked out of class, and I'm paying to be here.
Yeah.
And you kicking me out for being 2 minutes late?
Dog.
Granted, I get it. We have rules. There's certain things that we got to follow. But it's like you said, I'm not a child.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'm talking a big game now that I'm an actual adult, but like 18, 19, you still not an adult.
But at this time,
legally, you're an adult.
I went to Willie P like my third year in college. So at this point,
that's right, yeah.
I'm going on 21.
Yeah, but you're still not like an adult.
That's old enough.
In the eyes of the law, you're an adult. But like where you are now, would you consider yourself an adult at 21? Because I sure shit wouldn't.
I look at 21-year-olds now as
I'm a grown teenager. That's what a 21-year-old is. Because think about it. You're excited about all the thing that being 21 brings you. Now you could legally drink.
I know
you could legally do a bunch of other stuff, and now it's like you're an adult, but you're really not. There's still so much life that you ain't even experienced yet.
I know every generation says this, but our 21 wasn't what 21 is now.
Our 21. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
The 21-year-olds now, they act like fucking children. Like, they act like little ass kids. When we were 21, we had to be adults. Like,
but that's, again, like you said, it's a different era. Because we also had to, in the 90s, early 2000s, I'll even give some of them early 2000s babies, we had to raise ourselves in a lot of situations. We had to look out for ourselves a lot of the time. But now you think about it. There's all these laws and rules that certain parents can't adhere to. Like, think about it. I can't speak for your upbringing, but I know I was watching my sister at a very young age. You cannot do that now.
I couldn't watch nobody.
Well, yeah, I forgot. You were the one being watched.
I was the one being watched.
You can't do that now. Like, if there's a child watch, I mean, I'm sure you couldn't do it before neither, but like, yo,
but they wasn't big
DIFUS is on y'all asses. Like, child services, yo, and don't get me started on that. I know we got to look out for certain children, but don't get me started on the way that they be running child services, bro.
I'm happy you brought DIFUS up because I want to give this message to people because I had to learn this and working in the field that I work in. DIFUS is not meant to hurt you guys. And I'm looking dead into the camera because being from Newark, when we hear DIFUS, we automatically assume they here to fuck with us. The program of DIFUS is actually there to support you. So young single parents, even couples who are together who don't have their financial situations well put together, if you reach out to them, they will actually assist you. Mm-hmm. Their goal isn't to take. If they get called in like a shitty situation, let's say like, for example, if there's a domestic violence situation in the home, the police get called. Mm-hmm. If there's kids involved in it, the cops have to call DIFUS. Mm-hmm. That's why DIFUS gets a bad rap and be like, oh, they're going to come and take our kids. No.
Nah, but sometimes, bro, like, I've witnessed this before where you have to call DIFUS because certain times, like, let's say a parent is 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes late to pick up their kid, but they're in traffic or something like that. That's considered negligent, and they can take your child away for that. Like, I'm not saying, because everything about it, what you're saying, like, they do look out, but, yo, there's certain instances where it's like, y'all don't got to do that, and they do it anyway.
But 8 out of 10, they're not going to take the kids away. Mm-hmm. They're just going to make a thing out of it because they have to. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to say that they don't be on some bullshit at times, but I just need everybody.
Nothing's perfect. Yeah,
I just need everybody to know, and especially in dealing with them, because we have to deal with them a lot, especially in my old job, because we dealt with pediatric cases. Their first initial attempt is to help a situation. I'll make it more personal. When my nephew passed away in 2014, my nephew passed away from SIDS. They had to get involved because for the slim chance that it was something else behind the reasoning, they would have to do something about it. So we're all sitting there crying our eyes out. My nephew was 10 months. So we're all sitting there crying our eyes out, and here we're all being questioned by these people as if this shit ain't just happened. But you know me. I can be emotional, but in situations like that, somebody has to think with reason. So everyone in my family is just freaking out. Ask me these fucking stupid ass questions. I'm the one walking around the house trying to calm them down because I'm like, yo, what we're feeling is not their fault. They have to do what they're doing.
Everybody's got a job.
The lady, I remember the lady like, oh, you don't have to yell. And I had to pull the lady to the side. I'm like, the worst thing you can do right now is add fuel. What they try to do in companies like that, because they, when I worked at the assisted living home, this is what they do. They tell you to not get attached or not allow situations to make you emotional. But we're all human. It's almost impossible to do that. That's the mistake that companies like DIFUS make, because they'll hire people and train them to be cold. Because you can't be attached to a situation, because you might assess it differently because you have a sense of empathy, or you might sympathize with the people you're supposed to be actually you're supposed to not have any attachment to when you're assessing the case.
Yeah.
So I had to pull the lady to the side and tell her, as this shit was happening, I'm like, look at what's going on in the room, because at this point the paramedics were still in the room. I don't understand what they were doing, but they weren't trying to resuscitate my nephew, because at that point he was gone. But they had put these tubes and was trying to like suck the mucus out of the body. So as this is happening, and we all are aware of it's happening, this lady's coming in asking us these crazy ass questions to see if there was any foul play at hand. Everybody's freaking out. She started to freak out, and I pulled the lady aside. I'm like, don't do that. Because, A, y'all in a situation where ain't no kids here. So, anybody for y'all to take. I would hate for you to get your ass whooped in this house because you feel like somebody shouldn't be talking to you like that. Understand what is going on here. People are going to be mad. It's for the same reason why I tell you all the time that I'll have parents now just yell at me. But then I have to understand that to not go back at them, because they're just frustrated because they're dealing with a situation that's not normal. Like, and what we deal with and sending the nurses and home health aides to go take care of people, that doesn't happen every day to everybody. That's not, that regular person doesn't have to have a trach or ventilator in their neck. The regular person doesn't have to visit the hospital at least 3 or 4 times a week. That's really that's a stressful ass environment. So when people usually are on the phone spazzing on me, I'm usually just sitting there like, yeah, I understand. I just want to, assist and try to make things better for you guys. And I typically get a calmer response when I say that to them, because they know at that point, like, yo, I'm not trying to fight with you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help the situation. So going back to the whole DIFUS thing, that's the mistake they really make, is that they'll hire the wrong people and then train them to be cold. But in a sense, they're meant to help. I've called DIFUS for good reasons on people. We had a patient in Aviana who got at the hospital. The mom was making literally about $7.25 an hour.
Okay.
But where she was working was only giving her about 20 hours a week. She ain't got no money. So I had contacted them and be like, hey, she needs help. So what they were able to do was provide the mom with a month's worth of baby wipes, diapers, and things of that nature. We not going in to look at the house. We not going in to try to take the kid. We just going to help.
Yeah.
That's what, if you get ahead of it, and that's why I try to preach to people. Don't let them come to you. Because if they're coming to you, that means something stupid happened.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you reach out to them first, you ain't gotta worry about them doing no bullshit. Because if you reach out to them first, they know like, hey, this person's being accountable. I need help. So they're thinking, oh shit, this person wants to do the best they can to take care of their loved one, and that's why that shit goes the way it goes.
Oh.
So,
well, thanks for that, Sean. Thanks.
I had to put that out there.
Now, but before we wrap up today, we have a couple things that we just wanted to make sure we shed some light on, also for our scholars out there. Before the world went crazy and shut down, a lot of y'all probably have been joyfully dancing in the streets like this is the end of the Wiz. But because of student loans being paused and things like that. But as a service reminder to everybody, if you haven't gotten those things handled and situated, granted, I know that there was maybe some things that y'all filled out during the time, but some people that I personally know, they might have forgotten about it. So just make sure that you get your paperwork in order. I believe everything goes back into effect in, I believe, October. So if I'm not mistaken, it's definitely going to be the end of this month. So make sure you get your paperwork in order and everything like that, because you already know if y'all ain't been paying at least the interest, they are going to have their hand out and they're not going to want to hear no excuse. I mean, maybe they won't care. Maybe they won't care. Maybe you can hit them with the old, I ain't got it right now. And they might be like, when you need it. But see,
I'm deferring that shit.
Nah, listen, y'all can live your best lives, but I want them to be like, oh, I was listening to the Educated Brothers and they told me just defer it. Don't y'all do that. Y'all do what works best for y'all personally. I'm just making sure I give a disclaimer.
Let's have a conversation.
Let's have it.
What would be your reasoning not to defer if you can't afford it right now?
If there's no penalty outside of I get a bad thing on my credit report,
you don't.
If there's again, this is you answering the question for me then. If there's nothing bad that happens in the sense of, and I know the answer to this, but I'll ask it anyway, a sense of jail time. Like I'm not gonna go to jail if I defer, right?
No. So let me break it down. Let me break it down for people, and I'll be brief. I know I go on tangents.
All the time.
Shut up.
As soon as you start talking about politics, I'm like,
shut up. That's not as bad as the gunshot, but I appreciate it.
That drop will forever be legendary, yo.
Listen, they can only garnish your paychecks if you don't do anything. So, like, if you don't defer and then you just be like, "Oh, I'm not going to pay shit," they're going to come after your checks. Don't do that. B, if you choose to defer, obviously they're going to add more interest onto what you owe. It'll be on your credit report. But not paying your student loans and deferring them does not affect your credit score to drop.
Okay.
If you pay them, it will increase the credit score, but it can't decrease it. I learned this.
Okay.
So it can't decrease it, but it can increase it. So there is benefit to paying. But at the same time, if you can't, defer it. Because if you don't defer it, they're going to take it, and then you're going to be broke it. Broke it.
Because let me tell you something. The last thing you want is your wages like officially garnished.
Yes.
Bro, let me tell you something. If I'm working every day, Monday to Friday, 9-10 hours a day, and at the time when I'm supposed to get my paycheck, somebody else gets it. So, that's when I understand when people do crazy stuff. Because there's no point in working no more at this point. We will be good if that ever happened to us, because in Jersey they won't take it from our paychecks. They'll take it out of our income tax. Oh, they can have that. Nah, fuck that. That's if I even get it. They can have that. Fuck that. I watched that shit happen to somebody I'm close to. Like, they didn't take it out their checks, but as soon as their income tax came, they were supposed to get like $10,000 back. Yeah. Snatch. Hey. If they did it once, they could do it again. Yeah, fuck that, bro. Yo, you gotta think about it like this. You ain't had a $10,000 before anyway. It would have been the same living style, right? Listen. This is why, and like I said, Dante just said it. I'm not going to get overly political in it. But this is why motherfuckers need to pay attention to who they voting for and actually research some of the shit that they're researching. Because if we would have put the right people in office, we would not be dealing with this shit right now. We will not. That shit was going to be gone. Listen,
They try to put this shit into your head that the country can't afford for us to either A, go to school for free, or them to cancel the student loans. We can't afford it.
Look at me. Look at me here. You mean to tell me this place where trillions, it has been shown, trillions of dollars go into military activity, and that's just not guns, that's tanks, that's satellites, that's radars, that's GPS, that's everything that you can think of. They have trillions of dollars, and you mean to tell me they can't forgive a couple of hundred, a couple of 100,000. Yes, I'm saying it like that because trillions. If you just take even a 1% decrease in the amount of money that goes funding into the American government, we will be fine to cover all scholastic activities across the board. I'm talking colleges, Catholic schools, private schools, all of that could be free.
I do you one way worse. If they took 2% of what the American government spends on their military, they can end world hunger.
You want to know how these other countries who have a smaller military, smaller country, smaller demographic can get they got free healthcare and free schooling, and everything is fine over there. Why we can't do that? But you got to remember, this country operates on capitalism. And without capitalism, America don't go around.
And with capitalism, that's why they teach you the wrong shit. Somebody wrote on Twitter today that socialism is the fucking worst thing ever, and it's socialism and communism is the same. But this same person was tweeting, "Oh, when is Trump going to get back in office and give us more money for the fucking COVID relief checks?"
Oh, those, I call them FEMA checks, but that's not what they are.
They were FEMA checks. But that's just how, like, I haven't said it in a while, but that's just how stupid people are. That's stupid because a lot of people don't realize in those checks being dished out, guess what that is? Socialism. Duh, like, and for y'all to be like, "Oh my God, it's the worst," but y'all asked for it. What the fuck do you? Stupid as hell. What the fuck do you think? Use it. Use your common sense. What do you think Social Security is? Socialism. Like, the fuck? There's so much shit that this country does already,
but
that's wrapped around it.
They're not trying to even keep Social Security. That is not a thing that we're ever going to experience.
Who do you think trying to get rid of it?
Oh, and what's you know what's funniest? Me and my dad talk about this all the time. The people who need it the most are the ones fighting for us not to have it because they're fine. Their Social Security, their pensions, bro, they are set. But they don't want anybody else to get it and keep it going, which to me doesn't make any sense at all.
I'm so happy we got here because before we wrap it up, y'all need to understand that the people who are trying to take this shit away from us, they're doing it because guess what happens? If we don't have those systems in place, that forces us to work more. Those same people own the fucking companies we would have to work for.
Yo, the retirement age is up to what, 70 now? Yeah.
It was 65.
Before that, it was 63 or 62, something like that. And then it's been progressively going up.
They're trying to push that shit to 72.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yo, can you imagine? Imagine being somebody, and I'm not even trying to be funny, like imagine being somebody who's worked in a job where there's labor involved every day of your life. You got back pain, chronic pain, whatever it is, and now you're being told that you can't receive that money that you are owed as an elderly citizen in the country that you live in. You can't get the money that you've been basically you've been working and saving this money that is yours because you've been working this whole time. Nah, you gotta wait another 3 years.
Nah, fuck that, bro.
You gotta wait a little bit longer until you're just a little bit older. When do you get a chance to even enjoy your money, bro? Because that's another thing for me. I'm gonna end on this note because I know we got to get ready to wrap it up. I don't want to be 75 trying to enjoy my life.
And that's why
that to me seems so ass backwards. Like, you're so old, how can you enjoy stuff, bro? So you've got to find a way to enjoy. You got to find your loopholes now. I'm not saying do anything illegal, but you got to find ways to enjoy your life while we can still enjoy this life, bro.
All of the shit plays off of each other because in them creating a system like that, it forces people to do illegal shit. And the people who do illegal shit go where? Prison
free labor, and then they get treated like crap over there, and that's why this vicious cycle always continues.
And that's the issue. But people.
But go ahead, I'm gonna let you say it now because I know what you're gonna say.
Because the shit that kills me is motherfuckers want to be conspiracy theorists about the wrong shit. But the people pushing the fucking conspiracy about the wrong shit are the people fucking everything up.
Told y'all.
And that shit blows my mind that people fall for it. Like, what the fuck is wrong
we
with
talked
y'all?
about this on one of the other episodes. Don't Look Up. If y'all haven't checked out that movie yet, check it out. It literally is perfect satire of what we as humans experience living here. It's like, nah, don't worry about this thing that you can clearly see about to happen. Let's actually focus on something else that's more important. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, this is why I always go back until you tell me like, yo, man, just let it go, people. No, man, like people are really fucking dumb.
One day, brother, you know what I want for you? One day I want people to just listen. That way when you're saying it, you could look at me like, see, Dante, I told you. I'm like, you know what, brother? I was wrong. If I could tell you, you know me, I'm a man of my word. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it happens, I'm like, yo, you did it, Joe. They listening. I was wrong.
I'm completely content in knowing that it's not going to happen in our lifetime.
Yeah, you know all those young kids you making fun of? Yeah. They're the ones, the feelers, the ones that have feelings. Those are the ones that are going to
But you know what's actually going to happen? They're going to be so dumb that they're just not going to allow it to happen.
Hey, man, TikTok teaches them a lot. Cut it out.
TikTok don't teach shit.
Cut it out.
I get told every day, like, why are you reposting these fucking long ass videos that's talking about government? Yo,
you mean the 30-second videos?
Yo, and because we got to go.
Yeah.
But, I found out 2 days ago, that not only does the fucking national anthem have 3 verses. Did you know that?
I did.
All right.
I don't know what they are.
Did you know the second and third verse are basically saying fuck black people?
Nah.
I'll share the video with this clip as we post this because it's basically, it didn't become the national anthem until 1931. Mm-hmm. And it only became it because there was a lot of political issues going around, civil rights and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So the second and third verse are literally saying fuck slaves because in the War of 1812, the British armies had promised freedom to slaves if they fought on the side of the British. Mm-hmm. So what did slaves start doing? They started fighting on the side of the British. So the second and third verse is this bitch ass nigga Francis Scott Key is literally saying how, oh, y'all lost, fuck y'all, now y'all going right back into bondage.
Damn.
It's deep, bro.
Well, we can get into that in the next episode. We should have brought that up today, but it's all good. It's all good. Life comes at you fast, ladies and gentlemen. Well, with that being said, thank y'all for joining us on another installment of Educated Brothers Podcast. This your boy Dante. That's your boy Sean. We're going to check y'all out next time. No Talent Beats, brother. Play us out.
Don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
I was like, what's he?